it was an occasion for us to have a dialogue to talk about the importance of Ijtihad while living with the era of Corona. We are talking about after Corona, but still Corona is around. It is reality. It is a trial. It is test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is nothing else. Is this all the things Allah wanted subhanahu wa ta'ala through this trial? Test our faith, test our belief, our iman, our courage, and our strong faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Corona is a sickness. There is no sickness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not a cure for it. People might be saying, the Corona today, you don't have cure. And Prophet said this. Yeah, Prophet said it. The cure is there, but it's yet to be discovered. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should pray him that may he enable our learned medical team, learned scientists, may he help them to discover the cure for Corona. Sooner or later, this cure will come up. As it is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that human beings will have to try, and they will have to do their best. We'll have to make whatever they could, and at any time he could give it by the prayer, through the prayers of our brothers and sisters. If that is the case, we have said it in our last speech, in our last communication, that people should not get upset, especially the victims of people, the parents of people who passed away. It's very unfortunately today, in many places, people do not want them to say that if somebody passed away, do not want it to be said it passed away by Corona. And in reality, if it happened that the Corona was the cause of their death, they have been granted the paradise. As Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ash-shuhada'u khamsatun." The martyrs, the people, the shuhada, there are 5 types of them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted all of them the paradise. The first of shaheed, al-mat'un. Al-mat'un in Arabic, the person who passed away by a pandemic, by an epidemic. So Corona, by the definition, it is a pandemic. So people who passed away, the parents should not be so upset about these things. They should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we had in our history, Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah, Amr ibn al-Jarrah, he passed away by a pandemic. We have Mu'adh bin Jabal, he passed away by a pandemic. We have Abdurrahman bin Mu'adh, he passed away by a pandemic. Many of the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ta'un Amwas was the cause of their death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted all of them the paradise. Then the first shaheed is al-mat'un. The second shaheed is al-mabtun. Al-mabtun is most of the people who passed away by the disease of the stomach. While woman is delivering, while somebody is having the very, very heavy one, the severe one, the people who are suffering and the people passed away because of these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted them to be among the shaheed. The third person is al-ghariq, the drowned person, in case of any accident. So these people passed away because of this one. They are also being considered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the sea, in the rivers, and whatever happened that these people passed away, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted these people also the paradise. The fourth person is al-mahdum, or man mata min athar al-hadm. There is earthquake. There is somebody who was just like, the house fall down on it, the person. And that person passed away through this one. It is the sudden death. And in these people, you could see all of these 4 people. There is something which is very similar. There is similarity about in case of between the causes of their death. I mean, it is a sudden death. The pandemic, it is a sudden thing that's happened. And then the drown in the water is also a sudden which happened. And then the death with the stomach also is a sudden that happened. And the person who passed away from the earthquake, or it happened, something fall down on it. The fourth one, the 5th one, which is known to us, the person who is passing away in the bottom of the field, shahada. And we have made it last time that these 5 people, this is the hadith of Bukhari, muttafaqun alayh, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant it. And then that's why you shouldn't be sad for those people who our beloved brothers and sisters, that we lost them because by this, through this pandemic, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That does not mean we have to be looking for death. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I did say for jihad, even Muslims are going for jihad, you don't go for jihad to die over there. You are going for Nasr, but if it happened while you are doing and nothing happened to you, as Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us this thing. We did talk also that ijtihad, which is needed for this era of the corona, must be collective ijtihad, must be intellectual and collective ijtihad jama'i. Why it has to be ijtihad jama'i? Because the issue is so complex and you have so many things are interacted. So you cannot take only one side and just say this one. You have medical aspect of it, you have sociological aspect of it, you have even economic and political aspect of all the things. So if you want to make any ijtihad, you will have to take into account all of these aspects in order for you to make a proper one, and that ijtihad which should be suitable for corona. So that's why our learned brothers and sisters and learned scholars in everywhere, in Malaysia, in Guinea, in America, in the UK, in Europe, wherever they are, they will have to come together in Jakarta, in Thailand, in Nigeria, in any other places in the world. They must come together. One scholar should not be selfish to say, I'm making the fatwa, I'm giving the people to do. If you do have ideas, you have already ijtihad, please forward it to your learned brothers and sisters and get their feedback about it, and before it being known to all of us and it be spreaded, and it's been put in the nets, or it be put in the website, and whatever we have today, our social media, we'll have to be very careful about it. As we said also, ijtihad is not only that one that has to be collective, the fatwa also has to be collective. That's why I have been calling upon our brothers and sisters who are willing to do fatwa. They should remember that fatwa is one of the most dangerous elements that one could do it. It's not an easy job. Do not take it for granted. Do not get into it without having a proper knowledge, a proper, a proper understanding, not only the texts you have, the Sharia, but the realities that you might be living. Malaysian realities are different from Nigerian one. Nigerian one different from Jakarta, from Indonesian one. The one in America, in the UK, you will have to take into account all the things. Do not generalize. More you go for generalization, you are making more harm to the Islam, as you might be thinking doing good things with Islam. So therefore, for Corona especially, we have known that all nations have different way of handling the cases. You may have seen it places you have a full lockdown, you have partial lockdown, and then you have these restrictions. You must be respectful to these restrictions set up by the states, because they are in better position to understand the reaction, the issues, to understand what are going to be the consequences of this pandemic on the life of human being and all the things. We have said it that time also. The fatwa, as Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ajraukum ala nari ajraukum ala al-fatwa aw ala al-futya, aw kama qala sallallahu. The person among you who does not fear the hellfire, who does not fear hellfire, is the one who really is willing to do fatwa every day. You are getting some people are open. Any questions you ask them, they have answer to that one. At the time of Prophet Muhammad, the companions, the question was addressed to Abu Bakr. He will ask Umar, Umar asked Uthman, Uthman asked Ali, Ali asked Talha, Talha asked Zubayr. Everybody was running away. They did not want to give fatwa, because if you give it and it's wrong, then you are taking it, you are giving the wrong medicine to the sick person. And then if you do wrong medicine, you give it to somebody, you are making a harm. You're not making any protection to the life. I would have said also that we said there is a need for the scholars, my fellow teachers and fellow students in Islamic jurisprudence, in Islamic law, in Islamic area, in those who are in social sciences. It is a chance, it is an opportunity to all of us today that we have to go back to look our Islamic jurisprudence. As far as concerned for this al-maqasid al-shari'iyya. When you talk about maqasid, you talk the 5 objectives of Sharia. The objectives are meant to the purpose of Sharia. We have seen it that they are known from the Imam Ghazali, was the first Of course, people spoke about it, Al-Baqillani, and then you got the others who spoke about it before Ghazali. But at Ghazali time, it became more structured and clear one, and more understood, and the people could get it clearly one. When you talk about these 5 maqasid, that Sharia was revealed, and not only Islamic Sharia, Islamic revelation, but even all revelation, all religions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they were all revealed to protect for these 5, what you call it, the maqasid al-Sharia. Of course, al-maqasid you may know well. You have essentials, ad-daruriyat, and then you have al-hajiyat, the needs, and then you have what you call it at-tahsiniyat, which is the luxuries, or you call it beautifying items that we do have there. But we talk right now about ad-daruriyat. And that daruriyat, why they are essential, or why they are necessities, because no life could be stable without protecting these 5 things. There's will be any stability in anywhere in the world if one of these 5 are being in danger. For instance, today, if you want to get to know how is the development, you want to measure the level of development on the progress of a nation, you will have to look at what is the status of these 5 things in that nations. First of things, what is the status of the protection of the life? You are talking about the security. You want to invest in a country, you must have a security. If there is no security, nobody will come, no investment, and no development will be there. Nobody will be going to go and invest in a war zone and where people have faced the trouble here and there. So this is one thing. The second, we are talking about it, the protection of the faith, the religion. No matter, we don't say here, not only even Islamic religion or Muslims, the one there, but the religion need to be protected. Muslims, Christians, and Jews, and all of these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you think you have Prophet Sallallahu in Medina, he was living with the Jews, he was living with the Christians, he was having communication, he was having deals with them, and then he was having a transaction with them there. So the protection of the religion is a second thing need to be done properly. The third, we are talking about protection of lineage or offsprings, and nasl, hifd al-nasl. And nasl need to be protected, because we'll have to go, without that one, the nasl is not been protected, no life will be in better position. The fourth one, you talk about it, protection of the intellect. That we talk about education. We want the child to go to school. We want them to be educated. We want the people to have more education. Education should be free. And every single human being, it is compulsory upon that person to have access to education. And then lastly, you talk about the wealth. So these 5 things from the social scientist point of view, they are the basic of measurement of any development. Look at the status of these things in any place, and then you will know what to do and how to go about it. Brothers and sisters, we have said it in that meeting. So you have to take into account that the faith need to be protected is the life. And the life need to be protected, not for whatever reason, it's just because it's the basic of all. The religion depends on life, the wealth depends on life, intellect depends on life, the lineage will depend on the life. So I think this revision for the intellectual, for Muslims in that places, have to be taken into account to make sure that Muslims will not mix up there. For instance, I was going through our literacy. I found it, Imam al-Qarafi, rahimahullah, he came after Imam Ghazali almost 100 years plus. He is 600 plus. Ghazali was 5.5. This al-Qarafi, in his explanation of this maqasid, he started by the protection of the life. أن يحفظ عليه نفوسهم أديانهم ونسلهم وعقولهم وأموالهم. It was interesting to know, because from the Imam Ghazali's time until Imam al-Amidi came in defended, the discussion were all the time what will come first between intellect and wealth, between intellect and lineage, but not between who should be the first. Everybody was talking at that time that should be the religion. But this al-Qarafi, known to be a very reformist, and known to be very mujtahid, and an extremely maqasidic oriented approach he was having it throughout his academic work. He was just started on this one there. I was telling to myself, he might wanted to say something, but it's sometimes difficult to speak up some of these views, which seems to be sometimes difficult to be accepted. So that's why he accepted talking about starting by hifz al-nafs. That is very important. And today, going for this revision is nothing to do. If Imam Ghazali, rahimahullah, was living with us today and came to know what is happening and how it became important for the human life, the threat to the life and the challenges that we could have it with the life, I think Imam Ghazali would not be saying something different from what we have saying today. That remind me most of the time for the case of Imam Asad ibn al-Furat. Is one of the scholars, well-known scholars in the Maliki school. He was saying, he was in Tunisia, that area, and he was almost say the most knowledgeable person as far as the Maliki school is concerned. One day he was having dog in his house. And then some scholars, the student asking him, how could you have dog in your house? In the Maliki school and Shafi'i school, you cannot have dog in your house. Hanafi is different. But these two schools, like the case in Malaysia and many places in the Muslim in Africa and South Africa, Shafi'i, this is dog, no. We could have the cats, but the things there. But he is Imam, a big sheikh, having dog in his house. And then one the guy told him, what are you saying about what Imam Malik rahimahullah said in Mudawwana, in Muwatta, sorry, what he said about the dog, al-kalbu lil-hirathati wa laysa lil-hirasa. I mean, the dog, you could take it to go for hunting, you could bring it for hunting, whatever you want to do with it, but it's not to be for protecting yourself in the house. He told them, لو كان مالك حيا لاتخذ أسدا ضرارا. Likely, if you don't know what he said when he said it, if Malik was living with us to this era, the time that we are faced with it, if Malik would not take only the dog, he's going to hire a lion with him. He should be having the lion as his bodyguard. Why for? Because the security condition was not that good one. So you need to get something to protect yourself at that time. So that's why here we understood from Malik's point of view, when you are talking in a normal situation where there is no threat to the life, there's no threat to the religion, there's no threat to all the things, then you go to the normal. As today, pandemic is such, all of our legal rulings will have to let them and look at them in the light of the objective of Sharia. Whatever legal ruling, hukum shari, could be not in conflict with that one, you make sure that this legal ruling could be postponed, could not be taken as we have done it very successfully in many Muslim places. They closed down the mosque because it was known that it could happen that the people may be contaminated. They could get this corona over there. They closed down. They did not perform the Jummah. It's seen at all. Couldn't be a wrong thing at all. It was meant and it is right one. The Muslims did it, and everywhere they did it, it was correct one, and it is being something big to be very successful one. So Muslims should not be say, oh, by doing these things you are not fear. You are afraid of this one, corona. As he remind me what Abdurrahman, when Abu Ubaidah the Jarrah, when Omar decided he about to go to Sham, and then he was told there is a pandemic, and then he just said, okay, we don't need to go no more to go to Sham. We have to go back to Medina. Abu Ubaidah told him, "Afirara min qadarillah ya Amir al-Mu'minin." Are you running away from the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Umar ibn al-Khattab, he told him, "Naam ya Aba Ubaidah, firaran min qadarillah ila qadarillah." I'm running away from a destiny in one place to go to the destiny to other place. And that one, Abdurrahman bin Auf came and told Abu Ubaidah, I have heard the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إذا سمعتم بها بأرض وأنتم فيها فلا تبرحوها وإذا أنتم فيها لا تقدموا إليها أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. When you heard there is a pandemic in one place, while you are there, don't go out. You stay there. If it happened that you are not coming there, don't come there. You don't bring them. What we talk about locking down, all the humanity today, they have practiced the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, which said it 1,441 years ago. He said, when there is a pandemic, what they call isolation, you isolate the sick person, you isolate the person who has been committed. This isolation at the higher level, at the bigger level, there you lock down the country, which is happening. You lock down the town, you could lock down the area, you could lock down the whole places that this is Islamic one, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did say and did advise the Muslim. This is the way. By doing so, you will be able to handle one of the way to protect the life, one of the way to make sure that the Muslims said. So Muslims today, we are having this. It was not in a strange thing that we are having lockdown all of the places, and then it has to be supported, to be respected, fully respected, and to be taken as a part of the religion. Respecting that one is the religion. Going against it, it is against the religion, because religion wants you to do so. So, brothers and sisters, when we talk about this, and then we did not forget about beyond this area ibadat, in the area of mu'amalat, in the area of the business, in the area of the transaction, in the area of banking and finance, is needed that one to come out with this ijtihad, which has to take into account the realities. And I have told in our Fiqh Council meeting, I was proposing to learned scholars there, dealing with the corona, we will have to come up with a new methodology, a new paradigm, which will have to take into account this is intellectually, this is collective ijtihad. But in addition to that, you will have to go to what would you call it, the general rulings of Islam, the general al-usul al-amma li sharia al-islamiyya. You have to take into account the general statement, general Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala text that we do have when you are dealing. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَتُدْلُوا بِهَا إِلَى الْحُكَّامِ. Do not eat among yourself your wealth through, the unjust manner. Imagine today people who have made the booking with the airline, booking the hotels, and it happened that they couldn't make it. It's not because they don't want to make it, and then the hotels and these companies, they have no choice. They have to pay back to the people who are there because of the corona. And that one here, one company say, no, you must come, knowing that the person cannot make it. And I'll be grateful and very thankful and appreciative to many of Muslims companies and many other international companies. They have taken into account these realities, and then they have gone as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam talking. This is the first principle. You must look at the general text, which has been saying anything. الأصل في الأشياء الإباحة، والأصل في الذمة البراءة، والأصل في المعاملات الإباحة أو في العقود الإباحة، والأصل في الأعراض الحظر، والأصل في النفس كذلك الحظر أو كما يقال. When you take this الأصول العامة, you move on, and then you can take المقاصد, the objective of Sharia. This the 5 one we have spoken about it. They need to be there, but you have to take the legal maxims too. When you take the legal maxims, it will be very, very helpful for scholars, for our learned scholars and muftis, that they will have to refer to legal maxims. For whatever reason, we have the 5 also legal maxims, the big one, that we will get another time to talk about it. These legal maxims are needed for the scholars, for the muftis, they have to refer it. At the top of that legal maxim, you say, الأمور بمقاصدها اليقين لا يزول بالشك المشقة تجلب التيسير العادة محكمة لا ضرر ولا ضرار. These 5, they are the 5 legal maxims. They call it the mothers of the legal maxims. These maxims, you have to take them also as you are taking the 5 maqasid al-sharia. Especially in that 5, you have what do you call la darara wa la dirara. Then you have to take into account that one also. It's very important and it's very needed. It is important for Muslims to remember. It's a hadith, but ad-dararu yuzal. It is hadith from that legal maxims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Prophet, the scholars have derived, they have come up with different other maxims. Ad-daruratu tubihu al-mahdhurat, al-amru idha daqa ittasa. That things that when you get the emergencies, when you get these necessities, urgencies, all the things will move, will make sure that whatever was prohibited yesterday will be allowed today, which was makruh will be mubah, which was mandub could be prohibited, which was obligatory will be prohibited, because whatever we call it this one at that level. So I think this is a very important for us. Al-umur bi maqasida, the issues are of the intentions, that the intention take into account while we are listening and obeying or making any kind of obedience to our rulers, our governments, our states. We are doing it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed us to do so, especially when it comes to the protection of the life. Then al-dararu yuzal aw la darara wa la dirara, there is no harm. Nobody should harm anybody else. There is no harm in Islam, and the harm is not, it has to be removed, and nobody should cause the harm to anybody who come because to nobody else should cause the harm to him too. Al-mashaqqatu tajlibu taysir, when there is difficulty, Islam is such kind of very beautiful religion. He allowed the taysir will come over. Taysir will come over, meaning to say, will allow the people to come out with the easiness. When the difficulty, before the difficulty, there will be easiness. That's why when you cannot pray by standing up, you pray by sitting down. You cannot pray by sitting down, you can pray by lying down. You cannot pray by taking ablution, you take by making tayammum. You cannot fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving you option there. So all of the things, don't forget these legal maxims. I please my learned scholars, my learned muftis, my learned ulama, have just a visit to that legal maxim. You will get answer to all of these problems that we are faced today. And then the last things I would see, we have spoken about al-usul al-amma, which is the general text. We have spoken about al-maqasid, which is the objective. We have spoken about the legal maxim. We have said it. And then the last thing is al-ma'alat. What are the consequences in terms of evilness, in terms of goodness? One, Islam is not just about to say it's good and it will be good everywhere. Something could be good in Malaysia, it's not good somewhere. It could be some good some other places, not good in everywhere. So you have to think about ma'alat. That's why we are saying here, sadd al-dharaya, we are saying blocking the means that could lead to the evils. Blocking the means that could lead to harming what do you call their life. So why we are saying the protections that we have been, the restrictions have been meant in the light of that one, because we do not want you to harm yourself. So anything could lead you, if going to the mosque or praying together closely, that is going to create the trouble, then we have to block it. If going to the school and this is going to get the sickness will be spreaded, then we have to block it. And doing these things there, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was exercising, practicing it, and the companions of Prophet ﷺ has spoken. So sadd al-dharaya, it came from this al-ma'alat, i'tibar al-ma'alat. There you have to take into, al-mufti will have to say. I can end up with the case of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu as a mufti. One day he was in the mosque, somebody came to see him, a very strong man, very fat, and then he was just like, he said, Abdullah ibn Abbas, I have a question to you. He said, what is your question? Is Ibn Abbas, what do you think about somebody who killed a Muslim and then he or she repents? Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repent him? Will accept his repentance? If he killed Muslim and then finally he just regretted it, and then will Allah accept his repentance? Abdullah ibn Abbas look at him and they say, no way. وَمَنْ يَقْتُلُ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمْ خَالِدًا فِيهَا وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. Allah said in the Quran, if you kill an innocent person, there is straight away you go to hellfire. Allah will never forgive you. You will be there forever. The man just like was frustrated, and he's okay, he left, he went. Few days ago, after, another man came to see the Abdullah ibn Abbas in the same mosque with the same student around him. Abdullah ibn Abbas, what do you think if you kill a Muslim and then you just regretted it, just will Allah accept your forgiveness, your repentance? Abdullah ibn Abbas told the guy, yes. You, those bad doers, those people who have done the evil things, Allah said in the Quran, do not get desperate. Allah will forgive all sins that you commit. So, and then he left. Abdullah ibn Abbas, the students around him, how come? Our Sheikh, you told us just a few days ago that if you kill the Muslims, then you go to hellfire. And now somebody came to see you, you just say him, yes, Allah will forgive him. You say, yes, that's the very best mufti. The first person who came to see me, I saw the guy did not kill. I came to know he did not kill. He did not kill Muslim, but he has intention to kill Muslim. And then he wants to get the fatwa from me and use it, kill, and after that regret it. So I have no choice. I have to block him and stop him from doing it. This is al-fatwa qabla al-ibtila. You make it before the person has committed. He didn't commit anything, but he wanted, actually, he is a very ungrateful person, and then he has a trouble with somebody, and then he wants to do it. Then I have to help him to say, you must stop it. If you do it, you're going to hellfire. The second person came to me. I came to know that guy has already killed. And then at the end of the day, it had happened. If I did tell him just like, Allah will never forgive him, he could end up to kill me myself. Then he will add me to the person who passed away yesterday. So I have to tell him that no, the door is still open to you. That is ma'alat. That is something we call the consequences. Mufti or mujtahid will have to take into account what will be the consequences of any fatwa he or she will be doing. It is very important for him to take into account, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they asked him, he said the hypocrite are known to be more than kuffar. Muhammad, why, the hypocrite, in the munafiqina fi darki al-asfal min an-nar. They are in hereafter, they are going to be down. If the people, the kuffar, the unbelievers, or those who are not, they are going to hellfire. These people are going to be downtown there. They are all munafiq is kafir, but not all kafir munafiq. You may know the difference between them. All kafir, the one who we don't believe, all munafiq, hypocrite, is kafir. But not all kafir is munafiq. Munafiq is the one who say, apparently, he just like say, pretend to say he is Muslim, but in reality, he or she is not. But kafir is known to be, is not that one. But Prophet ﷺ, they asked him, why you don't kill them? If you are killing the unbelievers, why you don't do this? Is in Muhammadan yaqtulu ashab. My worry is this: people are going to end up to say Muhammad is finishing off his own people, his own companions, because they say Abdullah ibn Salul, Ubay ibn Salul, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul is living with him in Medina. He's making all kinds of trouble, and then he's going up and down to the Muslims. So imagine if it happened, the Prophet has to take an action against him and finish him, and then people will say he is even killing his own companions there. So, brothers and sisters, with this, I hope that you might allow me to just to stop over here. And I think that what we have exchanged, it is just like an attempt from my side. I'm just like trying to forward these ideas to you, and I'm thinking that methodologically speaking, that could be one of the way will be more helpful for our mujtahidun, for our learned scholars, our learned muftis. And with my thanks and gratefulness to scholars in Malaysia, to muftis in Malaysia, I have seen such kind of doing together and talking together. There's no people who are giving different views and different point of view. The same thing is happening in many other places in the world. This is something which is to be appreciated. Muslims need to be, mujtahidin needs to be to meet each other. They need to exchange their ideas. If I have an opinion, I should forward it to a learned scholars. Maybe I might have missed some points, might have missed some of evidences. These people could be able to help me to come up. But please do not just open yourself and giving answer to all of these things, knowing that Corona, as I did say at the beginning, is a very complex issue and has to be done through collective ijtihad. Thank you very much, Prof, again, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, brothers and sisters who have been listening to me, taking your time and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about this issue. And I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help humanity to get rid of this thing, will help our scientists to come out as soon as possible with a cure to finish with this pandemic. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the most, what do you call this? He is the Almighty. He has the answer, and He has the cure. And may He subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to do so. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala alam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dato Sano, for taking 40-minute presentations. And we have more time for brothers and sisters to ask questions. I think before I ask Brother Fauzan to read some of the questions on the chat groups, I will allow 2 questions. If you can ask directly, please raise your hand, and Brother Shahran will put yourself to be unmute. Okay, you can start. Those who want to ask questions, please raise your hand. Any hands going up? Brother Sharan?
Okay. Oh, okay. We have Brother Gufran Ismail.
Gufran, number 1. Number 2, two question. Two person. Gufran, we'll give Brother Gufran first. Yes, you are unmute now, is it?
Brother Saiko Yaya Bari.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. This is Saiko Yaya Bari from Conakry. And I really appreciate what Dr. Sano has done. I've followed it well, and I'm really happy. I have occasion related to what he said, that any sickness has a cure, but it must be discovered. And I would like to ask Mr. Sano, so how in the religion in Islam, this discovery, how this must be organized through people, through our organization, through scientists? What is the recommendations through Islam?
Thank you. Thank you, my dear brother, Sheikh Yahya. You may know, as the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Tadawahu ya ibadallah. The hadith is known one that Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, you must seek the treatment, you must seek the cure, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not sent, did not send any sickness without having the cure. The problem is, you have to seek for it, you have to look for it. The scientists will have to be, we Muslims who are not scientists, who are not medical doctors, what we could do, they have to pray for them. May Allah easy to them the way to discover this cure. The cure is there. Believe me, it's there. Where is it? And then the medical team, they are working. That's why everywhere you have had, as of to now, you have more than 100 attempts, 100 vaccines have been proposed to different countries, to different places. Whenever they propose one, you could find something is not going through, and then they have to go back and do other things. So the human being should not, the mankind should not give up at all. This is a challenging for our learned doctors, Muslims, and I'm proud that the Muslims, doctors in the UK, in the US, in everywhere, you have heard about some of our fellow Muslims. They are working hand in hand with others in this trying time. So there will be, you as brothers from here, you pray for these scientists, you pray for these doctors, you pray for those people who are sacrificing their life today for us. Today I would remember, and I would have to remind myself and all of you that we should make more prayers to our doctors who are sacrificing more and who are making their own life in danger to save lives. So that's why I think our prayers will have to go and will have to be continuous in order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable our learners, to enable our scientists to get it there. Do not need to rush. Sometimes they rush to get something and without knowing this thing. So I think mankind, our humanity today, they end up to believe that they need to work together. There is international cooperation that will have to work together to get the cure, to get even the vaccines. You have two things we need for over here. You need to get the cure for those people who are sick to be treated with it. You need to get the vaccine that could be stopping people who don't have it to have it in the future. And that thing is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we have to take the precautions. We have to be respectful to the restrictions. We have to be, we have to listen to our doctors. They will know. I did say last time, the doctors, they're in better position to tell us what to do as far as this corona issue is concerned. Thank you very much.
Second one, brother Onike Abdul Aziz.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sure. I hear you. Please go ahead.
Foremost, I say Jazakumullah khairat to our Prof. May Allah continue to enrich you in knowledge. I would like to plead with the organizer to bring back our Prof. We need to know more about fiqh of calamities. Before we did Eid al-Fitr, there are so many fiqh issues that were raised. Eid al-Adha is coming in another 3 weeks' time. There will be so many fiqh issues, Ijtihad issues that will be raised. And we would like our Prof to attend to them as they are being raised, inshallah. Or does he know the likely fiqh issues that will be raised about Eid al-Adha, because we are likely to celebrate it in this pandemic too? What are the naughty fiqh issues that can come up as regards Eid al-Adha that is coming up in the next 3 weeks? Because there will be so many issues that people will be asking questions. And if there's nobody to educate them, to enlighten them, people will be misled. What are the likely fiqh issues? Because we are dealing with fiqh of calamities now. What are the likely fiqh issues that will arise during the Eid al-Adha? Because we are likely to celebrate it during this pandemic. Jazakumullah khairan once more.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please do not forget, I told you, people do not just make it sure that you refer to our learned scholars and learned ulama in your place, in area. I am insisting on this because as the proverb says, Ahlu Makkah adra bi shi'abiha. Corona cases is such very complex, different from state to state, from country to country, from even continent to continent. So what you needed over here, have trust in your learned scholars who are trustworthy people who will not be going to sacrifice the religion for whatever reason to have to be there. They should organize themselves. I'm appealing to these learned scholars. It's time to organize yourself. If you have an idea, you have another scholars, for instance, like the case of people in Nigeria have different states, and different states they have a different thing, and then the situation is different from one state to another state, is different from one country to another country. Please forward your questions and try to get together before this Eid came over. Fiqh issues there. It's not Khoutub over here stay in Guinea who will be telling the people in Muslims in Malaysia or other places what they should be doing. They know better what is happening in Malaysia. They know better what is happening in the UK. They know better what is happening in the US. They know better what is happening in Nigeria, in Senegal, in Thailand, in Indonesia. What is needed from our brothers in Philippines, in all of these places, please, the Muslim scholars, come up and try to get together a very collective and very, very consensual ideas or consensual response to what the problems the Muslims are facing. No one single scholars should be saying, my opinion must be taken, is the right one, and that is doing these things. It's not the prophetic way. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was saying, Salatu Jamia, whenever there is a new issue, the pandemic is a new issue. It is a threat. It is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-salatu jamia, he will call upon all the learned. Come up, come over, let us talk about it. You may know well, to the Ghazwat Badr or Ghazwat Uhud, even going to battle, going to the war, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to go through the collective way. So you should not be doing it on your own. You should not be doing it alone. Please, go and get the people who are next to you, your learned scholars, and get them, appeal to all of them. They will have to treat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have to come together to give answer, which will be, do not confuse the Muslim community. Do not create kind of division among. Some places, we don't go, we go, and they get the restriction. Be respectful to the restrictions. Be respectful to what our medical doctors are saying about this issue, because they are in better position to understand more than me, more than you, more than anyone else. So by doing this one, you are doing this. Do not get frustrated. Sometimes people saying, Salatul Jama'ah has been blocked. No, you could do still Salatul Jama'ah at home. You know, there is difference between praying in the mosque and Salat al-Jama'ah, pray in congregation. You and your wife is a Jama'ah. أقل الجماعة إثنان. You and your children, you are Jama'ah. You and your brothers or whoever, when you're having the social distancing while praying, this is the one there. So if you do not perform this congregational prayer in the mosque, does not mean you don't do it at home. You could still do it at home. Islam is very flexible as far as this issue is concerned. One, it has to be done in protection of your life. The life must be protected. It's been protected not only when I've been faced with the crisis, it's been protected even you must eat. Some people think eating and drinking is just permissible. No, they are compulsory in Islam. Why? Kulu washrabu. Kulu washrabu. Who knows Arabic? He said you must eat, you must drink, because without eating, without drinking, then you will not be alive. And they will have created the problem to yourself. What you eat and how you eat and when you eat, that is left with you. Up to you to choose. If Prof Fauzan you want to have nasi goreng, you want to have nasi lama, want to have other people want something else, that is left to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had allowed you to do this, but you must eat. Eating at the basic is compulsory in Islam. Because why? Because you need to protect the life. So you must seek cure also. Don't say, oh, tawakkal Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have just believe in Allah, and then you believe in Allah as qilha thumma tawakkal Allah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while he came, a Bedouin came to him, he was riding one of his camel, and they just came down and they let the camel. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what do you do with your camel? You need to tie it. He said, no, tawakkal to Allah. I leave it in the hands of Allah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, aqilha, tied it first, and then let's leave it in the hands of Allah. Do yours. Yours is to take precautions. Yours is to respect the restrictions. Yours is to listen to the scholars, to the doctors, and the rest will be in the hands of Allah. And that is in the hands of Allah. You don't control it. I don't control it. Nobody else control that one. We'll have to be respectful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So brothers and sisters, please, ask your learned scholars in your place. I hope that will be sincere to tell you what is good. And they will not, all scholars today, they are very, very busy getting out, getting to know what it is about, this the pandemic. Myself in Guinea, I decided every week I'm writing in the news, I'm writing this thing, I'm writing something about this pandemic. I'm giving some point of view about it because it's needed for all. It's the time for Muslims, not saying haram and halal, not talking about fatwa, no, telling the Muslims how to be prepared and how to be respectful to these restrictions set up by our medical teams, set up by our learned scholars and muftis and mujtahideen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dato Sano. Now we open to two questions on the need to give to Professor Fauzan to read it.
Okay, Dato Jamil. First question from Mardia Abbas Mashi. Her question: Don't you see this COVID-19 is as a result of the sinful things people engage in all over the world, Muslim inclusive, example, homosexual, sodomy, killings without reason, and etc. This is the first question. You want me to read another question?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Another question is from Said Wasim Rahman. What is the rule about cultural custom? There are many customs which is not related to religion, but it is called recently as bid'ah. Please clarify it. Second one. The third question. I have question regarding intention. Yeah. The one who kills an innocent by accident, which category do they fall in? Which category do they fall in? Are they considered as evil people as those who are deliberately killed? I think that's for the three questions, Prof. Sano, Dr. Sano.
Okay. The first one, I have said it from the beginning. I don't believe that it is because people have been committing all kind of sins, and they have been committing it from the time of Sayyidina Nuh up to today. The mankind never stopped doing the sin, even the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You were having the sinful people in Medina. They were having it around the Medina. They were having it everywhere in the world. Never stop. There will never be one day there will not be sinful or people are not being committing the sins. So therefore, saying it is because of the sins, it is just not to believe in Allah says that it is ibtila, it is test. When a very learned prophet fell sick, it's because was he sinful? No. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested us and want to test us through the things there. There's nothing to do with this one there. Otherwise, people living, we do expect people living in some holy land, some of these places very close to Kaaba, very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do not expect these Muslims countries to be. From out of 196 countries, or some places 93 countries, all of these countries have been committing sins. What type of sins have been committing? The sins people are most of the time talk about it. These sins have been committed from the day one up to now. Never stop. So meaning to say we would have been continuously living in the pandemic. There will not be one time, there will not be 1 year. Since these sins have been committed 10 years ago, 5 years ago, people continue committing. Why we did not have COVID in 2010, 2013, 2015? It's only now in 2019 that the COVID came out. Muslims should accept it as a test. Why we are having the pandemic at the time of Abu Ubaidah? Abu Ubaidah, this is the 10th, among the 10th, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam promised them they are going to Ashar al-Mubashirin bil Jannah. He's going to go to paradise. Before he died, Prophet said, you are among those people being to be in the paradise. It's the pandemic that he killed him. Were they sinful? Were they committing sin? Were they having this crime, these sins? No. Brothers and sisters, accept it is a test of Allah and try to look for cure for it. And do not take it, there's no sick. Ayub, radiallahu anhu, he got sick. He got sick the way that he could everything, for he lost everything in his life. The only thing left with him was the tongue. Rabbayna massani dur wa anta arhamur rahimin. They say I couldn't do anything. He cannot stand up. He cannot do anything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is because was he sinful? No, he's a prophet. He couldn't be sinful at that level. So that's why it is ibtila. Brothers and sisters, accept it as iftila. As Sayyidina Aisha told the Prophet ﷺ, it is happening sometime. It could be. If Allah wanted, at any time, wants to punish the people who have been sinful, He has 100 ways, millions ways to go for it and to do it. Without any way, you do not need the people are not sinful. They have to suffer because of the sinful people. No, people are not having such crimes, such sins, and that places have to be there. So don't spread these things. I have heard many Muslims from the beginning were saying because these countries, this place, they were doing this thing to this and that what happened. No, you don't say this one. If he says somebody in the ibtila of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us when you see somebody who is in the test of Allah, alhamdulillah alladhi afani hadha وجعل من أصحابها سبحان الحمد لله الذي نعمته تتم صالح. Don't you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this wonder. So please take it out from our dialogue, from our speeches. It's not good to Muslims to be spreading all over the places because of the sins. We are having it in any one. There's no one single Muslim country was exempted from this one. There's no one single Muslim country. The 54 or 56 Muslim nations have been all faced with this corona, and they continue suffering and going through tests of Allah. As tests of Allah, we accept it, but we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided us how to go about it, to be restricted to restriction, to be listening to our learned doctors, to be listening to our ulama, our scholars, and then to avoid all the spread of rumors, the spread of all the things which has no sense there. Who is the one to say, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or Prophet reveal to somebody to say, it is because people are committing the sins like they were before. So please take out this one, and I hope the brothers and sisters who raise it, it's been raised everywhere in the world. It's been raised from the day one. It continued to be raised, but we thought that we'll have to move on and put this one aside and look for the cure and look for pray for the brothers and sisters who are suffering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them cure, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help mankind, humanity, to get rid of this pandemic as soon as possible. The second question was about.
The second question is about the bid'ah.
Yes.
what is the rule about cultural custom? There are many customs which not related to religion, but it's called recently as bid'ah. Please clarify.
Not all bid'ah is haram. Not bid'ah, all bid'ah is evil. Huh? حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم محدثات الأمور فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. The next one وكل ضلالة في النار. This is عموم لا يراد به العام. That in Arab, in Islamic jurisprudence, we call it, there is general term, but sometimes the meaning is not the general term, meaning that we need the general things. The bid'ah which is prohibited, which is not allowed, is the bid'ah which is removing the sunnah, which is removing the obligatory one. For instance, praying, we have 5 times prayers per day. If somebody come and add to be 6 times prayers, so that's what is the bid'ah. Because by doing this one, you moved out this one there. We have something where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do zakat. If you make it just 1 per year, somebody say, no, we can make zakat twice per year. Or this is just is bid'ah, which is, but other bid'ahs, which is called it, that's Rasul, ni'matul bid'atu hadihi. Al-bid'atul hasana. There is a bid'at hasana. I had the chance to supervise some of my students in Malaysia. I told him that you have to work it because people mix up a lot. What is the bid'ah and what is not bid'ah? What we are talking right now is a bid'ah, but it's a bid'at hasana. We are communicating, we are talking about Islam. When we are praying in the mosque, very beautiful mosque, you got the Shah Alam mosque, you got the Block mosque, you got many other places. You got in Masjid al-Haram, very beautiful mosque. It's not the time the mosque of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that one day. But this is bid'atun hasana. Even the Taraweeh, we are doing it. It is a bid'ah because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somebody will try to say people were praying Taraweeh at the time of Prophet. I'm sorry, my brother. It's not that the way we are doing it today. But Umar ibn Khattab, at his time, he found the Muslims praying, everybody is praying one angle, and then he brought them together to say, you pray for this there. So these are, they are bid'ahs who are very good one. They are needed even. Registration of the wedding, registration of marriage and all the things. The registration of the birth certificate. They are all bid'ah. That's why I have written a book about al-masalih al-mursala. This, what they call bid'ah, is in the category of al-masalih. And that masalih need to be finished. So I will have time to talk about the bid'ah and the misconceptions of the people. Some people are very allergic. Anything you do in Islam, this is a bid'ah. Anything you say in Islam is a bid'ah. He says, and his comment, there is also bid'ah. Because it's not revelation based on revelation saying is bid'ah over here. He is saying bid'ah, as I did say last time, somebody was saying, we want to close the door of Ijtihad. They have to close the. I say you're saying close the gate of Ijtihad is Ijtihad itself already, so it cannot be closed because you made the Ijtihad to close it. So we could make Ijtihad to open it as you did the other way around there. So please, brother, be careful when you want to qualify some of the items to be bid'ah, and when you want to say kullu bid'atin dalala, laysat kullu bid'atin dalala. إنما هذا عام لم يراد به العموم. لأن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم is saying, من سن في الإسلام سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها لا ينقص من أجرهم شيئا ومن سن في الإسلام سنة سيئة فله وزرها ووزر من عمل بها دون ينقص. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم من سن is a bid'ah هنا. ابتدع في الدين سنة حسنة. You made something good. You made something which was not there before. You were the one. You were the first to do it. You the one who invented the microphone. You were the one who made it. This is having this, make our mosque and do things there. So if Sunnah Hasana, writing the books, even Kitabat Hadith Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, writing the books and making the Quran, Mus'haf, making all the Mus'haf together. At the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we were not having Mus'haf in our hand. Mus'haf was not that we are having today in our hand. It was from the time of Uthman bin Affan that we call Al-Mus'haf Al-Uthmani. Al-Mus'haf Al-Uthmani is just a reference to Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan, who brought the learned Zayd bin Thabit, is brought the people who memorized the Quran and brought them together, and then they made the Quran. This Quran in your hand today, my brothers and sisters who are saying, this is it bid'ah to carry them with you? Is it bid'ah to have them? Because the Prophet was not having the Quran in your hand. Even people who are making the sabha, when you make this one, somebody told me today, this is a bid'ah. I told him, you're saying is a bid'ah. Mine, if it's bid'ah, you and I, both of us are doing bid'ah then. So you just accept me, I will accept you. So there is an issue, there is a confusion among the scholars, among the people. Sometimes they mix up, they look at something which are bid'ah to say, yeah, we look at the bid'ah, Bid'ah, if it is to be harmful to the Sharia, if it is to be very damaging the principle of Sharia, then there's a, but anything will not be in that line. Please accept it and look at it as in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala akmala dinahu wa lam yukmil ni'matahu. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. I have made it. Quran Deen is what it is. The obligations are known, the prohibited are known, the permissive are known, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it that one. There is a space, mantaqatil afu. The space, we call it the forgiven space. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had allowed the scholars. That's why we are making ijtihad, that's why we are making comments, and that's why we are trying to grow up. We are making development and progress. And these are all the things, the bid'ah. That's the bid'ah, we call it bid'atun hasana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward people who are working on it. Yeah.
Thank you, Dato. Can I have one question? Last question,
please.
maybe.
Okay, we can allow Professor Fauzan. From you, is it?
Yeah. Is from Sano. This
Yes.
is a question from Azmi Shah Surahman. It's from Facebook, because we already read from chat. Of course, we cannot read all those questions, but this from Azmi Shah Surahman from Facebook. He asked how you define a learned scholar who is really qualified and creative toward current issues. The issue is like we have the scholars like traditionally been trained in certain universities, certain school of thought, but they're not aware about the current and new technologies, the new disease. Another one, they have a new technologies, new medical school, but don't have a fiqh, usul fiqh and the Sharia. This is a problem. How to unite them?
They have to come. That's the collective ijtihad. That's the ijtihad al-jama'i. When you talk about it, we get our learned from the social sciences, the learned from the medical school, from the sciences, and the learned from the Sharia. They have to meet each other. When they meet, you have to explain to them. The doctor will explain to the learned, the traditional scholars, you may call them like this, and they have to listen to them. They cannot make fatwa without referring to them. It's not allowed in Islam to make fatwa. The Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, the fatwa has two conditions. You must fulfill them. فهم الواقع وفهم الواجب في الواقع. فهم الواقع والفقه فيه وفهم الواجب في الواقع. You must know the realities. If you don't know the reality, you cannot talk about it. When you know the reality, you must know what is suitable for that reality. If you may remember, I have spoken to you, I cannot treat somebody who is sick without knowing what is the causes of his sickness or her sickness. That's why the people who are not in the medical field, if you tell them anything, I'm having headache, I'm having the stomach, he or she will say, do this, do that one. It's very dangerous. He is giving the person a very wrong medicine, and wrong medicine is just like wrong fatwa. So the fatwa will have to be and that one. So our traditional learners, our traditional scholars, they must have this respect to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَا تَصِفُوا أَلْسِنَتُكُمُ الْكَذِبَ هذا حلال وهذا حرام لتفترى على الكذب فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. I have a feeling that al-dhikr over here is not people are saying it's only the people who learn the Sharia. No, who learn also, who are very qualified to tell you about the social realities. So why collective ijtihad is needed? In that collective ijtihad, I don't think the mujtahidun will be meeting each other only like that way, without getting the scholars, without getting the medical team, without getting the learned there. And the medical team at their side also, they should not be making fatwa on their own. They will have to go to get these people. They will have to get to know what the Sharia is about it. And then after that, they will make it. That is need for the stability in the society is needed to get cooperation. I cannot be a selfish scholar. I cannot neither be a selfish medical doctor, but I will have to listen, because my objective, how to protect the society, the community, how to protect the man life, and how to do this one. I will come down from if I'm living in anywhere in heaven, come down on the earth in order for me to get to understand that thing. So, al-hukmu ala shay'in far'an tasawwurihi. In the usuli taf, they are saying, when you want to make hukum on something, if you want to give legal ruling about something, It's a part of its conception. It is part of its understanding. If you don't understand it, how could you make it? If there's somebody about the corona, the one who say it does not know what corona means, and then he or she will say corona is evil, or is this and that, or corona is good or is bad. No, I will say get to know first. When you get to know, then you have Surah Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why was it Iqra? People think Iqra is just to read the Quran only. No, anything in your life, before you make comments about it, you must learn, you must know it first. Without knowing that, without knowing it, you are just making comments which might be dangerous. Huh? Like the statement, what the rumor says about it is lying. You are saying something which is not in line with the realities. You are saying something which is lying in the truth. Then you are creating trouble to the nations. When you are giving this one, so the scholars, the traditional, we call them, I have due respect to this tradition. They are needed to be respected. They need, in all societies, just by me also, they will have to come together with the medical team, and the medical team will be there to listen to them, and they will explain to them. When you explain to them clearly, I don't think somebody will be there still, say, no, even if you have explained to me, this is my position. No, be humble, be acceptive for what they have told to you. And in that one, sorry, in Arabic, they say, when you know the causes, there is no, you are so, I wonder what is happening. This wonder will be out when you know what was the reason for the things is happening. So I hope that our learned scholars, traditional or modern one, or the one being trained in the universities, or wherever they have been trained, or learned medical doctors, wherever they are, they need to come together. Please come to this fiqh, we call it, this is Majlis al-Fatwa. I think in Malaysia is a well-organized one. It's also in many places in Indonesia. I know all the things, even in Singapore, I know that people will have to do. In Fiqh Council itself is about this one. It's not about anything. And then you are having the scholars from all the things. But we do talk about, when we want to talk it, we must meet each other first. When you meet each other, then you can exchange and you get the better answer.
Thank you very much. I think we got to stop here. And the line is getting weaker now in Guinea.
Really? No, Prof. My line is okay. My line is okay.
We benefited a lot from your two hours lecture last week and this week. We hope to see you more, inshallah. This is the hikmah from the COVID-19. We are creative enough to meet you online through Zoom. Thank you to Zoom also, and through Prof. also, who created this. And the benefit is that we are going to strengthen our faith, inshallah, in this situation. And do not surrender yourself to the COVID-19, although you know that those who pass away, inshallah, will be granted paradise. But don't surrender yourself to COVID-19. So protection of life is more important above all the other for protection of the Maqasid Sharia. So we all benefited a lot from you, and there are many other questions. Those who want to ask questions directly or from the chat, inshallah, when we meet again, or you can email to us. We will send to Dato Sano to get a clarification on that. So before we end, I think I would like to Dato Sano to pray to have a short dua to all of us, inshallah.
ربنا اغفر لنا اللهم هذا الوباء نزل بأمرك وبأمرك نزل وبأمرك يزول اللهم أزله عنا يا حي يا قيوم اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وتقبل موتانا في الشهداء اللهم احفظنا واحفظ أهلينا من كل سوء إنك نعم المولى ونعم النصير اللهم إنك أنت ربنا أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاءك شفاء لا يغادر سقما اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وفك أسرنا اللهم وفق العلماء على البحث وعلى الكشف عن داء دواء لهذا الداء لهذا الوباء. اللهم إنها جائحة نزلت بأمرك نزلت وبأمرك يزول، بأمرك نزلت وبأمرك ستزول. اللهم أزلها عنا وأزلها عن الأمة. ارفع عنا الغمة وارفع عنا البلاء، ارفع عنا البلاء يا حي يا قيوم يا رب العالمين. اللهم اصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، واصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، واصلح لنا آخرتنا التي لها معادنا، واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. آمنا في أوطاننا، آمنا في أوطاننا، احفظنا من بين أيدينا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا. تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل، وانصرنا وانصر عبادك يا رب العالمين. انصرنا وانصر عبادك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا يا حي يا قيوم احفظنا واحفظ جميع المسلمين. اللهم احفظنا واحفظنا بجميع المسلمين والعالم أجمع من هذا الداء، إنك على كل شيء قدير. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Dato,
Yeah.
I have an announcement for next week, Dato.
Yeah.
Inshallah, next week we're going to invite our scholars, president of International Islamic University Malaysia, Professor Dato Daud Bakar. He will talk the title Sharia Algorithm and Sharia Minds at 9 o'clock Malaysian time. So see you next week, 9 p.m. I'll pass back to Dato Jamil.
Okay, thank you. We end our session with Tasbih Kifarah and also to us. Jazakallah, Prof. Dato Sano.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you. Thank you.